What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. The book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. The link will be in the description box below as usual. Internal motivation versus external motivation. You know, some people are driven from here. Some people are driven from out there. This is what we're getting at. So let's start with internal motivation. You know, there are people that wake up on their own internal clock, that have their days planned out because they have a direction. They have a plan. They have their dreams and aspirations aren't necessarily just dreams and aspirations that they gonna wake up one morning and everything is just gonna fall in place. They they have a daily schedule that they work at it to become better and better and better to achieve their goals and to get to the position where when they achieve these goals, that they actually um, trailblaze themselves or work themselves into legendary status, right? These people don't need other people for they don't need pep talks. You know, these people don't need you to tell them how great they are, to get pats on the back, because the greatness that they're chasing from an internal source outwardly. You know, they're grasping the fact that this is their life and this is their chance to get it right. So when you see them focused or driven, you're not paying attention to the fact that maybe, just maybe, these people are how can I say this? These people are have some type of spiritual connection with not necessarily success but excellence. So you're not necessarily the with the outside, the admiration, the adulation, the awards, you know, the status doesn't really push them. It's just they have a particular love for something that they do, and they get up every day and do it. You know, they handle all of their business that's not centered around their actual love or primary focus, to give themselves the time and space to concentrate on the skill that they love the most. You know, thus, like when you're in school, you know, you went to all these other classes, but there may have been a particular subject that you liked the most. You know, if you were in athletics or arts, you went to school to keep your grades up and all that, because for one, you probably just wanted to, you know, be excellent and be intelligent, but at the same time, you wanted to make sure that you did everything it took to be able to participate in athletics and the arts, or the extracurricular activities. You know, I don't care if like chess club, science, you know, anything like that, something STEM, and that translates to your motivation, because you might have, I want to be a doctor, so you get up every morning knowing, okay, I got to get, you know, A's and B's in these classes because I got to get to college, because you know you can't get into college without A's and B's, because I want to be a doctor. So you know, it's not somebody told you what you want, it's you told you what you want, and you made an agreement with yourself. You know, and anything less than is unacceptable. You know, now the type of doctor may be different. You know, and sometimes there are unforeseeable circumstances that may get in the way or derail your dreams and aspirations. But that doesn't. But I've learned that even people with internal motivation, even if you got derailed, the idea that you were actively pursuing it before whatever tragedy struck or whatever, or if life threw you a curveball, you can live with that. You know, so there's a big difference. Like people who are externally motivated, I'm gonna go to that look for now. and people who are doing things and they may need a push. They may be good at something, but they need people to to pat them on the back or to um, make them angry or to make them happy. Or they need to somebody to facilitate the mood to be a certain way for them to be at their best. You know, so instead of saying I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer. You're gonna have those people in your life that say, "Don't you want to be a doctor? Don't you want to be a lawyer?" So if you can't be if you don't do this, this, and this. So now they are motivated by other people telling them and working with them and helping them along the way. And those people, or you have maybe people who are motivated by materialism. I want to be this because I want to be rich, or I want to be rich and famous, or I want to have a mansion, or you know what I'm saying. I want to see myself on TV, that type of stuff. So so their whole process is different. You know, some of those people could be great. I'm not if they have um, the amount of help that they need, because a lot of times that's why people say some people make it but because of luck, because there are a lot of people who there are few people who are internally motivated and a lot of people that are externally motivated. So the luck is running into the right group of people who cohesively continually help you along the way. you know so that's part of the luck part. you know and that's why some people are propped up as better than they are because they have a support system of external motivations and external motivation helpers. You know, but the thing about those people is, at some point, people grow tired of helping them, and or they may help them to the level that they say they need to be at, and a bit thrown off by a person maybe reaching their goal and is still always in constant need of help. And when it's time to turn around and reach back to help other people, they can't do it and people get upset at them. But you shouldn't really get upset at those people because they've they are accustomed to getting helped, not being a helper. And you facilitated helping them all the time, so you constantly helping. And there are people who wind up in a good position, like I said, and people fall out because of that. They really do. Like, damn, I did all of this for you. I got you here, and you get those conversations where, I mean, I'm here, not you, and they're like, you here? Wait a minute, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me, because you didn't get yourself up in the morning. You didn't push yourself. You didn't you didn't cheer yourself on because your ego is so fragile that you needed all of these external things to actually do what you were supposed to do. You know, you didn't. Your coaches had to drag you out of the house and pick you up. Your band members had to push you along and help you with notes. And you might have been very talented, but very lazy. You know, so it becomes kind of a war because the people who are internally motivated versus the people who are externally motivated are two different animals. Because the people who are internally motivated can see that they won't get the help of the person who's externally motivated. So if you're internally motivated, you already know that people aren't going to gravitate to you. Oh, they got it together. They on their own. That kid's a latchkey kid. That kid doesn't need raising. Oh, that kid is a savant. No, the kid just uh, is internally motivated, and they are successful in spite of you not helping them. And a person that is externally motivated is gonna make it because of you, but they're not gonna understand that. So, and then you deal with the dynamic of training these kids the way you want them to go. Once they become adults, the adult world is really a society based on the internal motivated person, you know, because as an adult, people are just gonna throw you into the box, even though there are more externally motivated people in the world. Once you reach adulthood, people gonna you grown. That's what they basically gonna tell you. You grown. You need to get up on your own. You need to work hard on your own. You need to feed and clothe yourself on your own. You need to pat yourself on the back. You need to get yourself underpressed. If you need therapy, you need to drive your behind to therapy. If you need all of this help, you grown. You're gonna have to facilitate it yourself. And this is why a lot of people have breakdowns as an adult, because they can't fathom the fact of being driven internally. And they can't fathom that society doesn't understand this when society has been catering to their motivations to make them successful for their whole lives. So, and when we get to people who are great and maybe legendary status, you're normally driven to the people who are internally motivated. Those are your greatest of all times at anything. The people, because now that they've reached their where they wanted to be, now they want to put their stamp on it. They don't need your they they were driven to get to the point, and now they're extra driven to make it a real the reality that they had as a child. And the problem with that is those are your breadwinners, those are your cash cows, those are your money makers. So now you have these industries catering to people who are internally motivated while um, having to deal with the the diva and adult people who are externally motivated, and it's a big clash of interests. So what winds up happening in life is what happens with all of us. You're at that fight or flight moment, and the guy that may be internally motivated, he may have all the wealth and the riches and the mansions and the successes and the track record that a person who's externally motivated want, but that doesn't drive the internally motivated person. So you're still chasing this person's car and their house and their lifestyle and seeing them on TV, but that's not why they get up in the morning. So, your ambition is empty. So this is my thing about, the difference between internal motivation and external motivation, how I see it. Yeah.